This is the Anker 535 that I want to review in case this is something you're interested in picking up. I'll go over the specs and also show you how I've used this to run my office sort of off-grid, as well as what I would do in case of a power outage at home, how I would use this thing. So first off, the battery in here is a 512 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery, and what that means for that battery chemistry is that if you deplete it all the way down to zero from 100% and back up, that's a cycle. So if you did that once a day, all the way down, all the way back up, you'd have about 10 years of life of this battery. So that's really amazing. Now, it has a nice screen here, and it also dims and fades out over time to save battery, and you can just push this to freshen it back up. And so I really like this blue LCD screen, and it shows you the information that you need to know. So the output of the 535 is 500 watts continuous AC from these 4 AC ports over here on the side, and it has a surge of 1,000 watts. And so you probably can't run your full-size refrigerator on this unless that brief surge is 1,000 watts or less. Then you can do that. But I'll show you later in the video how I use my mini fridge off this 12-volt port here. But you have 3 USB-A ports and 1 USB-C port, and so I run my computer from this one, and you can also charge through this USB-C port down here, which is pretty cool. It has a power saving feature on here, so when it detects that there's no more power coming out of these ports, it will shut down to save battery life. It's got a nice light here in the front. You can also put it in SOS mode to have it start blinking if you needed to. Say you're taking this out camping, which is a really great application for this. The 535 weighs about 17 pounds and has a nice handle for carrying it around. And you have some on-off switches here for the inverter. You have a button right here, and for this 12-volt car port right here, I can open this up. You can turn this on and off with the switch over here. In terms of what it comes with charging, you have your carport charger, and you also have your power adapter that you can plug in. Now let me show you some of the use cases and some tests that I've run. So one thing I've been doing these past few weeks is actually operating my desk sort of like an off-grid setup. I charge the 535 up by solar panels, and then I can bring it in here and run my external monitor through the AC port, my main MacBook through the USB-C power delivery port, and then I can charge up my phone and my watch with these USB-C ports. And I don't know if you can see here, it says it's using about 50 watts of power, all of those things, and I'm near full charge here, and it says it's going to work for over 8 hours. So because I have the 2 power stations, I can charge one up while I'm using the other. Anker is coming out with a compatible solar panel, but I had to use the supplied 12-volt adapter with alligator clips to charge them with my 100-watt panel. And this has been working great to power part of my office by sunlight. I did run a few tests on the new 535, and one is the AC inverter efficiency test, where I drained the battery from 100 down to 0% through the AC port. So if we do the math, this is about an 89% inverter efficiency, which is good. And what's been noticeable about using the 535 is how little the fan kicks on. It seems like I have to draw over about 350 watts before the fan kicks on, and even then, I think it's really quiet. When I'm inside charging it, I did use the adapter that came with the 535, but something that's neat on both of these units is that you can charge from the wall and through the USB-C at the same time. So with this method, you can go from 0 to 80% in 2.4 hours on the 535. What can you do with these? I mentioned I've been running part of my office off-grid with them, and if the power were to go out, I'd be able to plug in my cable modem and my router, either to either one of them. I could use a power strip over here, but I could keep going. Or the other day, my laptop was near empty, so I grabbed the 535 on my way out the door because I had to work from my car, and it came in handy. Or another time I was in my car and I found it really helpful to use the 12-volt port when I was vacuuming things up to get ready for a trip. Now if there was a power outage at night, one of the first things I would do is I would use the built-in LED light here, and then I would grab another light, and then I would charge up my phone. Next I would plug in my laptop, and I'd also grab my mini fridge that I can run from the 12-volt port here, and I would probably move over some key food items. Now with everything running, including the mini fridge, it says I'm pulling about 90 watts of power, and at 90% battery, I could expect about 4.5 hours of runtime. So overall, if you're looking for a portable power source where you can take AC and DC power wherever you want to go in a nice little package like this with those lithium iron phosphate batteries that are going to last a really long time, then you should consider the Anker 535.